Hello and welcome to Back to the Boardroom. I'm James.
And I'm Greer.
And it's the last episode of the season. How did that come around so quickly?
I know, can you believe it? It's been 12 weeks of tasks, and we even had a Meet the Candidates episode before that. So it's been a long run, but very fun.
Exactly. We've interviewed someone from this year and also gotten out of our studio, if you can call us that, and went to see one of the businesses in London.
That is very true. We ate pizza in the name of Back to the Boardroom. So for the final time, James, do you want to give a little roundup of what happened in the episode?
Yes, so as we know, it's the final business versus business, Pasha versus Charisma. So we started the episode in Gladstone Library, where Lord Sugar laid out the plan for the final task. Create your a brand, create an advertising campaign, a social media pitch, and then pitch it to Lord Sugar and a panel of industry-leading experts for then Lord Sugar to get the feedback and ultimately for him to decide who his next business partner is.
Yes, and they really kept us guessing the whole way through, as both Pasha and Charisma got so many compliments from the older team members, even Baroness Brady and Tim, and Lord Sugar himself, but also previous candidates who were coming back in to give pep talks, and the key business people in the pitches. So it was a really fun one. Shall we go through some of our top moments of this episode? I think I'm going to start off with the brilliant Anne call, or Anne calling, or my favourite bit is when Priyesh was saying styloscopes or something a bit later on.
Yes, there was a stethoscope incident, wasn't there? In the branding task. And also one of my favourite moments was, I know it's definitely the edit. It's got to be. But just the sort of episode in the scene where they're basically trying to find a brand name for Pasha's recruitment agency.
That was so funny. She was saying, just think of any words, any jargon, which isn't great. She had a good idea, I guess, but not a clear brand, whereas Charisma really did. I was really grateful. I was really happy that they didn't go with Anne in the end. I know she wanted it to be a personal brand, but it just didn't make any sense.
No, exactly. I'm glad they dropped that. I'm not too keen on the name though. Real Approach Recruitment. I don't know.
Boring.
Bit boring, if I'm going to be honest. Similar with the logo was a bit plain. It didn't stand out.
Bit Route One.
Brady said this. Yeah.
Definitely. Some other funny moments is Kieran and Levi trying to put together a video for the recruitment company, and Levi really acting and shouting, saying, "You're fired." Kieran wanting a cup or a mug to be thrown across the room. What? Pasha's right. Not very professional, but yeah, he wanted to go mad.
Levi doing his best Lord Sugar impression. You're fired.
Yes. Levi's had two memorable performances, one with the shoe dryer and the athlete's foot, and now being Lord Sugar shouting, "You're fired."
Yeah, indeed. And kind of, I don't know, this isn't one moment per se, but one of the best moments for me, and I've probably said this last year as well, I'm probably repeating myself, is how positive the episode is. I think, out of the 12 weeks, this is the most positive episode. For a couple of reasons, I guess. Because all of the team members are not there for themselves. They're there for someone else. So I would say there's a lot more harmony and less arguments. But also just they kind of try and highlight the good. And sure, there's a little criticism, little bit of bad things, but at least the edit puts together, an impression that they're really creating a great content. The pitches always hit the nail on the head and they do really well. So yeah, it's kind of, even though we see a lot of disasters that are hilarious in previous episodes, this one turns it a bit around, and you really, they really bring out the best in the finalists and everyone that's come back to help them.
Exactly. It is a very sort of celebratory episode. They do, even though it is a competition, you kind of get the feeling that, right, you've actually both won getting to this stage. I know only one person will get the investment, but it's such a real achievement to actually get to this point in the journey. And I think Baroness Brady, Tim and Lord Sugar really treat it like that. So yeah, you're right. The vibe of the whole episode is nice. I also really enjoyed watching the skincare team do their video too, because I just thought it was so funny. Lawrence asking Vanessa whether she could do a breathy version of the script. I thought the video was great that they came up with actually, but it was very funny seeing them all, wiping their skin on their face, or Lawrence doing his hair and Vanessa putting the product on her. I thought it was good, but it did make me laugh. They looked like they're at a spa day, an uncomfortable business spa day.
I'm going to turn it on its head now. You don't know what this is coming, but as this is our last top moments of the season, I'm going to ask you for 2 top moments. 1, pick a top moment out of the last 12 weeks on the show. And 2, pick a top moment from this season of Back to the Boardroom.
Oh, they're such good questions. I'm going to have to think about this, because we have definitely had a lot of top moments on Back to the Boardroom. There have been so many funny moments on the actual Apprentice. Do you have your 2 already in your head?
I do not. I've set you the challenge as usual going first, so I
yes,
have time
you have.
to think.
I'm trying to remember all the moments that have happened across the weeks. So I did enjoy the Isle of Wight task where they had to go and find the 9 items. I thought that was really fun. And this year they did a really good shopping channel task as well. Maybe my favourite would be from the 9 items. Oh, no, actually, no. Changing it. I've remembered another one. Egypt. When they were creating the curry and Levi cut the parsley and threw the leaves away but kept the stems. That's my absolute top moment.
It might be a cop-out, but I thought the flower episode, because I thought it was a good example of how you could not go over the top, be very clever with, making something cheap look good, and not panicking, but also the way Rothner led her team. I don't know, I thought it was pretty good.
That's good. I feel like it was a bit of a different one, wasn't it, that episode, that task? Maybe they'll do that again next year.
Yeah, because it also included market selling, which is always a good thing.
That is a good one. Okay, so best Back to the Boardroom moment. Obviously, I want to pick when we ate pizza together at Anissa's Pizza, and they both tasted great, but I also really enjoyed it when you picked up your pizza slice and all of the toppings fell off. That was good. But technically, it's a video portion of Back to the Boardroom. So what could be my top moment from the actual podcast? Definitely not the elevator pictures. They terrify me all the time. I mean, I enjoyed speaking with Lawrence and finding a bit more out about the behind the scenes of The Apprentice. That could be a top moment for me. What about you?
I would say the news, but that's kind of a cop-out. So what I'm going to say, I can't actually, it's sad, I can't actually remember the exact moment, but I remember there was an elevator pitch I was doing that I said something so odd and you just burst out laughing in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, what was that? Did you say like a beanbag or something? I remember laughing at the phrase beanbag, but don't know why.
I think was it one where the independent adjudicator sets us out an item to try and figure out what it is or something, and I just said something completely different, like, I don't know. I think it might have been something along the lines of a beanbag. I'll have to look back.
Yes, we have to.
That
Okay, I like how it's one of your moments as well. That's great. But I do like it when you do the elevator pitch, because there is a moment within the 60 seconds where you're panicking and I can see the cogs whirring away in your brain. And sometimes it comes up with the best technological solution to whatever we're talking about. And other times it is just completely rogue. And I love it.
Rubbish.
But, well, I didn't say that because mine aren't good. But yeah, it's been a really fun season this year, I think, on both accounts.
Exactly. What definitely not a highlight for me is the predictions, which went absolutely wrong, which we'll fill you in on a bit later.
So it's time to go back to the boardroom for the final time, and it was quite an intense one, but also fun. First thing I really enjoyed is Kieran being discussed, saying he wanted to make a Fast and Furious video, and Baroness Brady said about his ideas they were all crap, and Tim went, "Oh, Baroness Brady," which I really enjoyed more than crap, I think.
That was great. I did really like that part of the boardroom, and it was quite a jolly boardroom. Lord Sugar cracking out the jokes. I think there was something he joked about, telling everyone that you could say you made it to the final, for the contestants who were helping out. If only we knew someone with a mobile bar.
Yeah, that was good.
He said about Kieran's acting being a bit wooden or something, just like the cat tree he made.
Yes.
There's a lot of references to earlier episodes. Levi and the shoe dryer. That's why he was angry or something like that. Yes, a lot of... I think he cracked out all the jokes for the final episode.
He did. And as we know, he writes them himself. Doesn't have a notepad or anything. One thing I wanted to ask you is that Pasha, she's 21. There's 21 years of The Apprentice. Could you believe that she was 1 when this whole show first began? Did that make you feel as old as it made me feel?
Yes, it's crazy. It just shows how long it's been going on for and how it still attracts quite a lot of viewers. It's evolved over the years. Like, for example, this year I feel we are really getting a lot more behind the scenes content, the candidates really reacting to the episodes on social media. But yeah, it's really crazy. I don't even know when I watched the first Apprentice. I have to find that out. You'll find it out next season.
Yes. I remember watching it. Well, I don't remember the first time, but I remember watching it. My mum used to watch it. So it was something that I'd either stay for the beginning of and then would have to go to bed, or I was allowed to stay up and watch it. But yeah, my mum watches TV on a very, very tiny television. So I remember having to sit quite close and, see who was going to be fired. But I've been watching this for a long time.
It's probably before the days of iPlayer, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You had to be there, bang on 9.
Exactly. So nowadays, just like with tonight, I started slightly late, so I just click pause on the old Apple TV. But back in the day, I think it was probably, I don't know if it was terrestrial, might have been either that or Freeview. No play or pause, no catch up. It was... We weren't lucky enough to have a Sky Plus box, so it was be there or miss it.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I don't know. I haven't even thought about going on iPlayer or pausing the TV or anything. Anything that we've been doing when it's 9 o'clock on a Thursday, I pause and go, no, we need to watch The Apprentice right now. Every time, even if it started a little bit late, I don't even go back. I just watch it a little bit late. So yeah, I've not been making the most of the full technology we have now.
Do you remember Junior Apprentice? I don't know.
No, I don't. Was that on BBC One as well?
I believe so. I don't know if it was only 1 or 2 seasons, but I distinctly remember watching at least 1 season.
That's fun. They should do that again.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Going back to talking about, I guess, age, something that I thought was both quite nice and also amusing is Rothner saying to Karishma, we're the same age, but I feel like a proud mum. I liked how a couple of the candidates gave sort of personal testimonies and recommendations for both Pasha and Karishma from their teams. It was a nice personal touch, really, sort of saying to Lord Sugar why he should hire either one of them. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, and it's good that that was in there, because I feel like sometimes candidates are unfairly portrayed. You know, like, sure, this is a competition, but sometimes it can seem a lot more ruthless than it actually is in real life. So it was nice to see a bit of the other side. You know, sure, they haven't won the show, but they're really getting behind, I guess, potentially their friends that they've made after, you know, a number of weeks living and, I guess, doing the production together.
Yeah, that is very true. Lord Sugar did praise both of their presentations. I thought both were really good. Karishma did a few jokes, which I especially liked. And he said they were superb and excellent presentations, which you can't get higher praise from Lord Sugar.
Yes, indeed. Both really good. I really, if I had to pick out of the two, Karishma's did do more for me, just because I'm a sucker for a personal story.
Yeah.
And the fact that she wove that into, like, to her business and to her pitch so much, yeah, that just kind of did something more. Not saying that Pasha's was bad at all, but yeah.
I feel like it was harder for Pasha because she was selling a service. So Karishma obviously had testers of her product and people could put the face mask on and enjoy it, but then Pasha had to sort of describe what she was going to do, and both of them, their USP were themselves, which was really great. But yeah, Karishma's so strong. Even though Pasha was very strong, Karishma had this really personal story and sort of scientific background as well, which ultimately made her become Lord Sugar's latest business partner. Which we're not surprised about, are we? She shone through the whole process. We even had some of our listeners getting in touch to say that they thought she was going to win from quite early on. So we've been big Karishma fans for a while.
We have indeed. And I think she was really strong over the whole process. Yeah, and I don't know, potentially, you know, a dark horse. Maybe she was undervalued at the start, but really came through quite quickly, and especially on the tasks where she was needed to be a strong lead, either for the whole team or the sub team. Did very good in that respect.
Definitely. Now, we have to bring up the fact that while we were watching The Apprentice, James texted me with quite a big prediction before the winner was announced. I got on WhatsApp. I'm calling it now. He's going to invest in both of them.
So, bearing in mind, I called this probably about 8 minutes before the end. I just had a hunch. 20th season, do something different. I thought, you know, both got really good compliments, both from the floor, the experts, and Lord Sugar. So I thought, you know, maybe why not split 125 between both of them. But obviously, like most predictions this season, I was incorrect.
I'm going to be fair, because I also thought, right up until he said Karishma, I thought he was going to say both of you. I don't know how he phrased it at the end, but it was, I'm going to invest in or something. And I genuinely thought he would say both of you. I don't know why, but I thought he might give 250,000 to both of them. I didn't probably think of his finances, you know, but yeah, Karishma won in the end, and I'm not surprised, but both of us did think, so don't feel too bad about the predictions. Well, at least this rogue one that you did about 8 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So now it's part of the show that you've all been waiting for, the prediction update, because I want to see who has finally won Back to the Boardroom's predictions this year. James, do you have an update for us? The final scores on the doors.
Yes, so we're going to go through all of them, and I think you've got a handy notepad to keep the scores. Right, so we're going to rattle this off very quickly. So firstly, we did the winner's prediction. Greer, you said Andrea. I said Vanessa. We are both wrong. No points for either one. Runner-up predictions. Dan, Greer, and myself said Andrea. Again, 0 points. You were near, because Dan got to the final 5. Best salesperson. Greer, you said Priyesh. I said Rajan. it was Lawrence. No points either way. Ending score between the two teams. Greer, you said 5-3. I said 4-4. Greer, that is your point. Biggest blunder of the series. Greer, you went with Andrea. I went with Megan. We're going to give it to Levi, either for the athlete's foot or the parsley incident.
Yes.
Most delusional confidence, again, a 0-pointer. You said Marcus, I said Dan. We've given it to Kieran. Double firing episodes. Greer, you said week 6. I said week 5. Technically, it was a triple firing in week 6, so you get half a point.
He's so strict.
Worst project manager. I went Levi. You went Carrington. We awarded it to Marcus, so no points there. Candidate carried by Team Luck. You went Kieran. I went Roxanne. And we put Priyesh, because of Lord Sugar's recommendation. Best boardroom survivor, you put Levi, I put Andrea. We've gone with Kieran again, no points all around. First firing, you went Georgina, I went Megan. Greer, you get half a point because technically Georgina was on the first episode fired, but was the second firing after the project manager, Nikki. And finally, the prediction that really matters the most. We could remove all of them. There is only one real competition here, and it's the narrator announcements. And I can reveal, because I've totted them up from all episodes, including today, that there were 18 distinct hours. Now, if you remember correctly, I said 17 and Greer said 18. So that is a point to Greer for getting it spot on. We also did a slightly different thing this year where we said how many total hours will the narrator say. Greer, you said 75. I said 78. The official answer, according to myself, is 81. So I'm going to award myself half a point for being the closest.
Only strict when it's me.
Okay, so I think we know who's won. But
Well,
Greer, would you tot up the scores?
yes, well, I've totted up the scores, and after James gave himself there a pity half point, that is your total, a half. And I will say I've come out on top this year with 3 whole points.
That's pretty good, and 2 of them were half points, I believe.
They were, so I'm very, very proud about that. Hopefully I can continue my run next year. And James, I hope you can get 1 full point next year.
Thank you, yes.
You've had to do all of the work and you've got none of the rewards.
None of the rewards, yes. I'll figure out what the prize is.
Yes.
If we're doing them. But yes, let us know on Back to the Boardroom on Instagram or on WhatsApp what you thought of the predictions. Did you play along? Let us know.
And we'd also like to know if you predicted that Karishma would be the winner and how early on you decided. You can send us a WhatsApp voice note or just a message on 07379 171 890.
Thank you so much for listening to us for season 3 of Back to the Boardroom. We've come to the end of the season. It's been really good. We've loved all the listener interaction. So if you've got in touch with us via Instagram or WhatsApp, thank you to Lawrence for being on the show, and also thank you to Bombay Pizza for having us to try some of their pizzas. And yeah, hopefully see you same place next time.
See you then.
Bye.